What's up guys, it's Gabe here from the Ireland Clan. I'm a God-fearing Christian that wants to show you how to grow what God has already given you. Alright, so you're thinking about flipping houses. I've been doing this for a while, so I'm gonna run through the 7 biggest mistakes that will break you, but only if you do them. So if you're thinking about flipping houses, I need you to hear this. Most beginners don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they make a few very specific mistakes that wipe out their profits, or worse, put them into debt. And the problem is, nobody tells you about these until it's too late. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 7 biggest mistakes that will destroy your first flip, and how to avoid every single one of them. Mistake number 1, and this is the biggest, buying the wrong deal. The fastest way to lose money in real estate is buying the wrong deal. Now this means overestimating your ARV, underestimating repairs, and ignoring holding costs. So for those of you that don't know, the ARV is the after repair value. This is once it's all fixed up, it's ready to go on the market, what that price is, what that value is, that's that number. And normally that's what you'll run comps at. And I have a full other video on how to run comps. Issue with overestimating your ARV is that you put it at a price above what it will actually sell at. The beautiful thing about real estate is you have information all around you. It's called comps. It's what people are actually selling their property at and what a buyer is actually willing to pay. So let's say you look at a house and the comps are at, $350, $365, maybe on the low end, maybe in the $330 range. But you decide you're gonna go gung-ho and you're gonna make marble and all this beautiful stuff, and you buy the property at $350, which it needs some work, and that's kind of what the comps are already at, and then you list at $425. That is overestimating your ARV. The next is underestimating repairs. Now, personally, I do most of the work myself, and this makes my margin much larger. Now, don't get me wrong, I have my fair share of contractors come in, and I have a system that manages all of that. But you need to understand the real cost. Having the right contractor come out, maybe you have 3 of them come out and give multiple quotes. Once you get multiple quotes, you're able to kind of see which one works best. And remember, it's not always best to take the cheapest quote. We'll talk about that later. And this is probably one of the most important one, or what people overlook the most, and that is ignoring holding costs. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Most people look at a property and think, I can make that work. The reality is, the numbers either work or they don't. Do not forget this. You don't make money when you sell, you make your money at the buy. Mistake number 2. I just want to take a second. This video is sponsored by West Sound Buyers. They buy cash homes throughout the county, whether you're dealing with probate, pre-foreclosure, code violations, any condition, no repairs needed. They are a great company. Again, they buy cash homes, very quick closing, under 7 days sometimes. Go check them out if you're trying to sell your house. Underestimating rehab costs. This one destroys beginners. You walk through a property and think, okay, maybe $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to rehab. Then reality hits. A few examples: electrical issues, plumbing problems, permit issues, and foundation surprises. Everything behind the walls is where real cost sets in. The blunt truth is, if you're guessing your rehab, you're already losing money. So always overestimate, get contractor input, and add a contingency. If you use my systems that are in the description, I have a miscellaneous field, and I'll always add 10 to 20%. If I plug that in before I buy, it helps me put a lower offer in, and once I get that deal, I always make money. Your profit lives in your margin, but this is also where it disappears fast. Mistake number 3, hiring the wrong contractor. Now, I'm gonna give you some advice that is gonna change your world. How do you find the right contractor? This is what everyone wants to know. Is it calling their references? Is it seeing the last work that they did? No, 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 and no. It's simple. Call a real estate agent. Yes, call a real estate agent, call a firm, local firm, not your buddy Joe Schmo that just got licensed 2 years ago. Someone that's been in the business 10, 20, potentially 30 years, that would be best. And maybe even a realtor that has worked with a flipper and knows those contractors. My point is, call the realtor and the phone call would go like this. Hey, this is Gabe, I'm a local realtor. Is this Redfin? Yes, it is. Hey, great, I just am new to the area and I really want to get some solid contractors. Have you ever worked with any investors and maybe sold them properties, ones that potentially flip? If they say no, try again. You need to find one that actually works with investors. Well, yes, I do work with investors. Perfect. Okay, I'm just wondering if you have any recommendations for contractors. Boom. Once they say yes and they give you some recommendations, you're set to go. And obviously, they're not gonna lie to you, they're not gonna scam you, because here's the thing. Realtors' reputations lie on who they refer. Let's say you're thinking about selling your house, but you have a plumbing issue. You need a plumber. Well, the agent is helping you sell the house, and so you're kind of in contact with them, and you think, well, hey, let me ask the agent. Hey, do you know any good plumbers? If the plumber comes out and does a terrible job, upcharges you, all that gobbledygook, what are you gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna have that agent sell my house. They referred me a terrible plumber. So, moral of the story, call a real estate agent, call your local firm, and ask them what contractors they refer. Mistake number 4, ignoring holding costs. We briefly touched on this, but let's go into depth because there is so much that people forget about this. Now, personally, I try to do all my flips with cash. It's a peace of mind thing. You don't have crazy interest payments, and if you decide you want to hold, you can. I know you can with loans, but then you have to refinance. Sometimes it doesn't work. It's just way more stressful to do it with debt. Last year, I was going to pull out a hard money loan. Now, it was a $500,000 house, and the monthly payment was about $2,500. For this example, we'll do $2,000. So, the $2,000 a month payment, get this, it's interest only. Yes, none of that percentage is going towards principal or anything like that. So you're forking out $2,000 a month? Here's the thing, most flips take about 2 months. Okay, well there's $4,000 out of your margin already. But then you have to sell, right? There's normally a 30-day closing period. So now you're looking at 3 months. Okay, well there's $6,000. Okay, well let's say something goes absolutely haywire and you're holding it for 6 months to sometimes a year. And yes, I see this all the time. And they try renting it out, but hard money loans are not cheap. So now you're paying $25,000 out of your cost, where, again, if you don't know how to do the work yourself and you're hiring contractors, normally your margin is about $20,000 to $30,000. So you have either wiped out and you're breaking even, or you are losing money. Now, that is just the interest. There's also utilities. There's insurance, which you have to get special insurance for flipping homes. Normally, the loan company you go through will have recommendations on insurance. Lastly, property taxes, right? And those can differ, but sometimes they're really stinking high. And so you have to think about those. Mistake number 5, and this is my favorite. I've never done it. My wife tries to do it sometimes, but here it is. Over renovating. This is where beginners try to get all HGTV, and I love it. It is so fun to just pick out all this beautiful, tile from Floor & Decor and have the countertop guy do a waterfall that costs another $2,500 per side. Well, there's $5,000 right there, right? Stop. It's not worth it. You need to list what the market expects and will buy versus trying to be an HGTV star, for lack of a better word. Mistake number 6, no exit strategy. Now, years ago, I worked for the government on submarines. And the thing about submarines is you're not allowed to bring your phone on board for national security reasons. Long story short, work was really slow. I was a welder and there wasn't a whole lot to do on the boat at the time. Since work was slow and it was around the time of that GameStop thing, I got really interested in stocks. So I downloaded Robinhood like everyone else, and I had about $50,000 to do stuff with. So I decided to day trade. Yes, all of the $50,000. Now, hey, you can make a lot of money day trading, and I probably could have, but here's what happened. Work was so slow, I wasn't expecting to go down to the boat, and yes, I placed the trade and my boss says, hey Gabe, we forgot, there's a little bit of welding that needs done down in one of the ballast tanks. At this point in time, I was in the trade maybe for a few minutes, and I was already down $5,000. I had a decision to make. Do I sell right now and lose 5 of my 50? Or do I go down, weld real quick, come back up, and hopefully it's up? If it's down more, maybe I hold. I don't know. I was so stressed out. I go down to the boat, I lay down some beautiful beads, as they call it, and I go back up. I am down $30,000. $20,000 is all I have in this, and I have to make a decision now. Do I take a $30,000 loss? Or do I wait a few hours till the market closes and see what happens? Or do I wait till tomorrow and maybe it'll be up? I sold. I lost $30,000 that day for not having a clear exit strategy. Now, that was obviously a little traumatizing. I mean, that was over 50% of my money, and I'd lost it all. Having a loss like that has carried over to my risk calculator that's in my brain all the time to flipping. But the moral of the story is always have an exit strategy. If it doesn't sell, are you able to rent that property out? Run rental rates, do your due diligence. This is important. And finally, mistake number 7, and this is the biggest one that will destroy you long term. You might be able to get away with this for 1, 2, 3 flips, but if you don't follow this, you will not make a business out of this. And that's exactly what it is. No systems, running this as a side hustle. I see a lot of people do this. They buy a house, maybe it wasn't meant to be a flip, but the husband knows how to do a little bit of work, and so he fixes it up, they sell it, they make a little bit of money, but they made money off appreciation. The market is going up right now. Well, maybe not at this moment, but within the last 5 years, it's gone up. We all know that. And so now they keep doing it. They made $30,000. Well, let me pull out another loan and do this again and again and again. Well, here's the thing. When the market shifts, or they find a bad deal, or they just don't get as lucky because they don't have systems, they are going to lose, and not a little bit. They are going to bleed money and lose a lot. Of course, I'm saying what I've learned from my mistakes, and I used to have no system. The one I use now is great. I've even built 15 websites off of it, so I have my own lead generation company. I'm not looking at Zillow and Redfin for all these, different markets. Every investor's looking on Zillow and Redfin. I like to find off-market deals, and building the lead generation company from this system has helped me a lot. Of course, that's in the description. Keep in mind, it is a little bit pricey, but there is a 30-day free trial. I can't really stand those 7-day free trials. You can't really test to see what is out there. Sometimes I try it, but I love a good free trial. You can test it out for 30 days. If it doesn't work for you, cancel it and you don't pay. But I mean, it can literally do everything. Pipeline management, CRM, automated follow-ups. If I miss a call, it's like Amazon or Tesla or like a big company where, hey, sorry we missed your call. Can we call you back in 5 minutes? Would you like a quote? You can have it say whatever you want. And this is system not just for flippers. If you're a small business, anything like that, again, it's a full CRM. Want to build courses and sell courses, you can do that. Again, you can build websites. It's got it all. Check it out. It's a 30-day free trial. Keep in mind, it is expensive depending what tier you choose. But hey, if it helps you make 50 grand a month, it's worth it. Now, flipping houses can absolutely change your life, but only if you treat it like a business. If you want more real, no BS breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe.